What kind of world do we live in where lemonade is made artificially and cleaning products are made of real lemons? As Alfred E. Newman would have put it. But this seems to more apply to modern times than his time. Every day we are eating genetically modified foods. This pertains to everything, vegetables, meats, and everything in between. These genetically altered foods are bad for our bodies in general and shouldn't be consumed by anyone. This is why they need to be ceased. I am just another student like any of you, trying to go to school and make a better life for myself and my family. But the reason this topic is important to me is because everyone eats, and everyone should have the right to know what they are eating. The reason this should be important to you as well is because, as I stated earlier, everyone eats. And it is just not meats that are bad, it's vegetables as well. So therefore, vegetarians are affected too. After all, eating is a necessity. I think that we need to stop production of these modified injected meats, overly sprayed, pesticide-filled vegetables, because they are bad for anyone or anything who decides to consume them. What is genetically altered food, and why is it bad to consume? The process of genetically altered food depends on what food it is exactly and the company that is doing the altering. Some companies inject or feed their animals with vitamins and chemicals that go through the meat when they're killed and therefore go through our body when we eat it. Others spray their vegetables or grow them with certain chemicals to prevent pests from getting to them or one another. So says Doug Sherman, who is co-director of Biotechnology Project at Center for Science. People have been rallying against this act for years because not only does it hurt the animals, but it also hurts the humans who are consuming the food. It hurts the animals by putting them through a painful process of injections or being fed by chemicals. Footages of this has been seen before. How some animals lose their will to live or move because their health has been taken away. Evidence of this can be seen in Food Incorporated, a movie directed by Robert Conner, a documentary. The same thing has happened to humans as they get sick from eating these foods, losing their health due to becoming obese or losing the ability to fight off disease due to crippled immune systems, which has been brought on by the meat being injected by antibiotics, for which our bodies cannot fight off from getting the antibiotics from the doctor. This is why also shown in the documentary Food Incorporated. Recent studies have shown signs of problems in genetically altered corn. Researchers say they found unusual concentration of hormones and other compounds in blood and urine tested in rats, suggesting each strand impaired kidney and liver function. This was documented in an experiment by scientists at the University of Caen in France in response to the modded corn. They are also saying that if it has the effect in rats, then it may have the same kind of effect in humans. As well, that we are unknowingly taxing our bodies with modded crops that could cause the same health risks. There has been also a rise in diabetes since modded foods have become prevalent. A few statistics from Center of Disease Control states that 25.8 million people in the United States, 8.3% of the population, have diabetes. Of these, 7.0 million have undiagnosed diabetes. In 2010, about 1.9 million new cases of diabetes were diagnosed in people aged 20 years or older. As well as American Diabetes Association states that the total prevalence of diabetes increased 13.5% from 2005 to 2007. This seems to run in the same time frame as the modified clone meats as well as vegetables. This is not just a coincidence in my eyes. Salt-tolerant tomatoes or drought-tolerant crops could save precious water. Now these things are good because water resources are something we need to worry about, but shouldn't we worry about our bodies as well as the earth? As important as it is, it seems scientists are hitting the bullseye on the wrong target, as said by farmer Joe Salatin, who was interviewed in the documentary Food Inc. Now, if this is going into our bodies, why are we still eating these things? And why haven't we stopped it yet? One main reason is that we're not informed as Americans. The reason a lot of people haven't stopped all of this is because it wouldn't be a hard task to do. People like Monsanto Company, who had to have a team of French lawyers picket them until they released any information at all about the studies or the product used to spray in the American crops every day, or people like the BPI company who have been caught so far, but their crimes can't be proven. Their companies have such a large stature that it seems almost impossible to take them down. This was also evident in Food Inc. It seems the only way we could get these companies to completely shut down would be if the government itself did the job. Much of the British Medical Association did by requesting a ban on genetically modified food altogether, whereas other governments such as the United States seems to make it easier for these companies to keep secrets. The difference in Europe and U.S. is that Europe releases information to their citizens without a team of lawyers prying it from their hands or fighting and fuss. They give the information to them and let them make the choice, as we should do here in America. This is why the European citizens are more against modified food, as Mike Riley explained in Discovery News article. But however, if we as a country could do things like boycotting companies and produce this garbage for our system by refusing to buy it, finding alternatives, and thinking when we shop, we could make it much easier to stop. As I said before, the task of stopping these companies, although a large one, could grease the proverbial gears along by boycotting the agencies like Monsanto, BPI, Pilgrim, and other companies that are changing their foods and feeding them to us over a long-handled spoon. Look at the strawberry before you eat it. Read the labels on the pack of chicken before you pick it up, and think about what you're feeding your family and yourself when you're making a dinner every night. But this cannot be done with proper labeling, without proper labeling. Currently, the Food Administration does not have to label modded foods. Once again, we deserve to be informed. As far as vegetables go, instead of worrying about the water supplies, we need to worry about our own bodies. As far as insects go, is it really worth saving a few crops from dying because of insects, risking long-term health for us? I hope that you will remember these things next time you're at a grocery store picking up food for around your house, because eventually you will pick up something you will ingest and should think about what has been done to it and how it will affect your body. But if you are informed, if you're not informed, how can you know what it'll do? As a shopper and a father myself, I worry about what I'm buying for my children to eat, so I make sure to purchase into companies I buy from. Research into companies I buy from. Study into the genetically altered process. This can be done by reading a book called Caesar's Deception by Jeffrey Smith, who will inform you on how allergies, toxins, antibiotic-resistant disease, and nutritional problems can be linked to modified foods. Once you learn and inform yourself about these things we are not being informed about as American citizens, you will be able to make a decision about what you put into your body. It is our right as American citizens to gain information. We should go to companies like Monsanto, BPI, demand information about the food. We demand that clone modified meat is labeled separately from all others so you know about what you're buying. We need to worry about things like this in the environment, preventing pests, making food, stretch a bit further, but in foresight it seems we are risking our bodies in the process to stop these issues. As the old saying goes, we are what we eat. We should all be informed as what we are putting into our stomachs, but we can't do this without stopping genetically altered foods. The secrecy must be stopped, and Americans, we should have a voice to be heard about this issue.